me on these series of yoga practices. So today we're going to get more into the body of a typical vinyasa flow. We're going to do it slow. We're going to do it with flat backs. We're not going to round. And if you have any pre-existing back conditions, please don't do the twist. I'm going to show a twist in one of them, but um, I'll caution you when we get to it. Last week we did the sun salutations and we did some modified sun salutations. So that's a segment in and of itself. And then another day we did warrior poses, standing poses. So that's also a segment. And today we're going to get into some of the other body of work that can be incorporated into a vinyasa flow. And that can be incorporated as its own class as well. All of these classes that you see can be their own, or you can sort of pick and choose. And then at the end of the week, perhaps, we'll put them all together, we'll link them all together, and it will probably be the longest video we've ever made, maybe an hour and a half, but again, or an hour and 15 minutes. We'll go nice and slow, and just be careful of your back, and if anything hurts, or your knees, anything hurts, you're the expert in your body, not me, you're the expert. So don't push, don't let the ego take you to places that are not good neighborhoods. Okay, so come to close your eyes and just start to pay attention to your breath. Notice your own rhythm. Notice how you take that breath in, and then how you take it out. Letting the chest expand, the belly rise, chest expand on the inhale, and then engage the lower abdomen on the exhale to expel the breath. So this is a wonderful quote about yoga, life in general. For those who have come to grow, the whole world is a garden. For those who have come to learn, the whole world is a university. For those who have come to know God, the whole world is a prayer mat. And I'd also like to add, it's a yoga mat. So just take a few more deep breaths, connect with your higher self, your higher good. Thank yourself for showing up for your yoga practice today and for taking care of yourself. And then inhale, open the eyes, bring hands back down to the left, and then we'll come to stand. Okay. So let's just warm up again. So just take the feet out wide and swing the arms one way and then the other. And then just to mess with you, see if you can turn your head the opposite way of the arms. It's really good for the neurons, and it looks a lot easier to do. So just see if you can do it. It's just a fun thing to do. Taking the habitual patterns that we do and just turning them upside down is always good for the brain. Shake it out, and then here's another fun thing to do just to shake up the brain. So interlace your fingers, and just like you made, you're clasping your fingers together. My left thumb is on top, my left index is on top. Now let that go, and then put it the opposite way. Right thumb on top, right index finger on top. That's just an interesting thing to do, to play around with that every once in a while. It might feel weird, but it's fun to do. It's good for the brain, and it just kind of shakes things up a little bit. So it feels weird, but it's just fun to get out of habitual patterns. And then just get the arms. We're going to be using the hands and the wrists a bit today. So you can just get in there and just sort of sway from side to side, shake it out, rub the wrists, rub the hands, and then shake it out. Okay, so come to the front of your mat. Stay back here. And then we'll inhale, open the arms, and exhale, just slide the arms in front of the knees or the thighs with the knees bent. and then inhale up, maybe about shoulder height. Exhale, come down again. So now make it into more of a rhythmic quality, getting into your rhythm of your breath. So the inhale brings the arms up, the exhale bends the knees, and then takes the arms out. And just see if you can change the placement of the arms. Before I had the left arm in front, now I'm going to have the right, and then switch. And keeping the abdomen engaged always for most of the time. And keep coming up. And just warming up a little bit. All right, now we're going to bring it up higher. And then we're going to exhale lower. Inhale up higher. Exhale, come down. Inhale, look up. You can look straight ahead if your neck hurts. I've been having some neck issues, so I'm going to try to keep my head level. But if you want to look up, just look to where the ceiling and the wall meet. And just a few more times like that, building some heat into the body before we start moving into the body of these sun salutations and vinyasa flows. Okay, come down one more time, come up one more time, and come down and stay here. Bring your hands to the floor or to your block. And from here, inhale into flat back, and exhale, fold forward. Let the head be parallel, the nose parallel to the floor. Inhale into flat back. You're looking maybe about a foot in front of you. Exhale, now the head can come down to the floor. Inhale, the face is parallel to the floor and the flat back. And exhale, the crown of the head is down. Now bring the hands to the floor and come bring one knee back, bring the other knee back, and just rise up. And just recalibrate, get your sense of where you are in space, bring your hands to your hips. So we're going to inhale as we bring the right foot forward, and the right knee is on top of the right ankle. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is just bring your hands to your right thigh, and before we do anything, you're just going to press into the right thigh as the spine elongates. Just feel your spine get a nice tractioning action there on the spine. And now from here, inhale, engage the pelvic floor and the abdomen as you come forward. So you're leaning forward with the pelvis, and you're keeping your lower back in a neutral or more in a posterior pelvic tilt. So if you don't know what that means, just come into a neutral back. What I want to say is that you don't want to have your back, your lower back arched. It'll take away your connection to your quadricep. So press into the hands again. That'll help your back to be neutral. And then you should feel a really nice stretch in your left quadricep. And then from here, you can bring the arms into football pose. And this is a really good universal pose. Some people who are rounding and have kyphosis, I would not recommend this arm placement. So I like this placement because it brings the shoulder blades together, and it really opens up, it externally rotates the shoulders, opens up the chest. Another breath here, inhale, exhale, bring your hands back down to the right thigh, and then come back to kneel. And if you don't do downward dog, then come into a long puppy stretch. You can just stretch your arms straight out. It's like a downward, it's like a child's pose, but your arms are stretched out and your forehead is on the floor. And if your buttocks meet your heels, that's great. And if they don't, that's fine. You can use something underneath your head, a pillow or anything. And if you come into downward facing dog, you can come into that right now and just come into your dog and pedal it out nice and slowly. And you're pressing, you're bending the knees so that the hips can come up high, and you're just softly letting your chest come towards your thighs. All of the knuckles in your hands are making contact with the floor. And breathe. You want to straighten your legs, go for it. The ears are between the arms. And then inhale here, come into a quick plank, and we went over that in some of the other series. So I'm not going to get too much into that right now. And then we're going to rise up again. Okay, this time we're going to take the left foot forward. Bring your hands to your left thigh. First thing you want to do is to lengthen the spine, get nice and tall. Inhale, and the knees over the ankles. So just make sure that that's in place. And then now just let the torso come forward, the pelvis come forward, and the torso will follow. So now you're feeling a stretch in the hip flexors on the right side and the quads. The back is neutral. And breathe. Breathing is always good. And then bring your arms out into that Sphinx pose or gold pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring your hands to your left thigh. And this is the proper way to come up from the way that I'm teaching a vinyasa as opposed to rounding to come up. So now we're going to curl the back toes under. And I don't think you can see me, so I'm going to move back. You're going to curl the back toes under, press into your left thigh, lift the back knee, and then bring that back foot up to meet the front. And pause. Bring your hands to your heart. Just pause. Take a moment to integrate what we just did. Okay? Come back to the front of your mat. Look down at your feet. You want to come back to that mountain pose. So that's always where we start from. And you can just take that inventory that we've talked about. Where are my feet? Hip distance apart, parallel. Where are my feet? Where's my pelvis? And you know what? You really can't say that too much because even people who practice yoga for a long time, they can just come right into it out of habit without checking in with their body. And then the spine lifts up, chin is parallel, crown of the head reaches the ceiling, open up the hands. Inhale up, and then exhale, fold forward, bend the knees deeply, hands can touch the floor or your butt. Inhale, flat back. Your nose is looking at the floor. You can start to straighten the knees, but not locking. And then exhale, bring the hands to the floor. And this time bring the left knee down, and then bring the right knee down. And just come to this kneeling position again. And now this time, so just check in with your body, bring the hands to the floor. And this time, just bring the left leg back and just get a nice stretch in that left leg. And you can lift the right arm out. And then switch it out. Bring the right leg back. Switch, and then really reach out to the left fingertips. And then bring the hands down. Come on up. Bring the left foot up. Curl your back toes under. Bring the hands to the floor. And then straighten your right leg. So this is a runner stretch. Engage your abs. Inhale. Exhale. Nice long line in that right leg. The head all the way out from the tailbone to the heel. Nice long line of energy. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right knee down. And then bring the left knee down and come into either your downward facing dog or your long child's pose or puppy stretch. And stretch out. Relax the neck in both of those poses. And if you're in downward dog, bring the knees to the floor. If you're in puppy stretch, peel up. And now this time we're going to bring the right foot forward. Just steady. Think about what you're doing. Think about your spine being long. And then bring the hands down to the floor. Position the head and neck so that they're in alignment with the rest of the spine. Curl your back toes under. In this case, it's the left toes. Lift the back knee, left knee. And then you can come up onto your fingertips. You can use blocks here. I'm using my fingertips. And again, now I'm thinking of a very long line of energy. from my left heel bone, my left tailbone, out through the crown of my head. Inhale, exhale, inhale, bring the knee down. And now you've got this right knee bent already, so curl your back toes under, lift your back knee, and then with control, bring that back foot up to meet the front, and you come up with a flat back. So there's no rounding. Pause. Just take a moment. You can even come to mountain pose with your arms up overhead, and then exhale, bring them down. Let's do that again. And down. And one more turn like that. Inhale, up. And down. Okay, so next variation on all those the poses that we've just done. So another variation. Come to your mountain pose. See my feet? Inhale, arms come out. Exhale, fold forward by bending the knees deeply. Flat back, bring your hands to the nose is looking at the floor. Bring both knees to the floor and come up into the kneeling pose. From here, just bringing that foot forward can really cause some wobbling. So before you even bring the foot forward, fix your eyes somewhere. That's so helpful. They call it a drishti. It's a soft gaze, so it's not a hard stare. And once you have that drishti, it'll help you bring that foot up because it just helps you to align with everything inside of us that contributes to our balance. Okay, so we're on our left knee, our right knee is up, and now we're going to bring our hands in prayer. And you can bring the elbows out to the side. And this, if you have spondylolisthesis or any other pre-existing back conditions that you know you shouldn't twist, then don't twist. If you want to just twist, if you're able to twist a little, then you twist a little bit. So I'm going to guide you through 3 phases of twisting. So from here, you're going to inhale, lengthen your spine, and on the exhale, turn just the belly. So now you're looking at a diagonal. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn just the ribs. Focus on the ribs turn. Inhale, exhale. And this is where you might want to just stay or even come back to the belly or come back to the center. So we did the belly, we did the ribs. Now we're going to inhale and lengthen one more time, get long. And then exhale, turn the head and neck. And this could be your pose. And if you want to, challenge yourself. But again, please don't do this if you have any kind of severe back problems or any acute issues right now. Take your left elbow to the outer aspect of your left thigh. And then you're looking up towards your right elbow. Now your head and neck might not like that, so then just look straight ahead. And you can look down as long as you don't drop the head. So let's just keep it where we're looking straight ahead. So you're getting a great twist here in the ascending colon and the transverse colon, which is really good for digestion and elimination. Inhale, exhale, inhale, turn the head, then turn the chest, then turn the belly. And come back to center, bring the hands back down to the floor, and come into your choice. Downward facing dog or a nice child's pose. But an active child's pose. Take some deep breaths here. You can bend the knees deeply. You want a long spine. The legs being straight, the heels on the floor are secondary. The most important thing is the long spine. And that includes the head and neck. That's part of the spine, the cervical spine, right? And then the head follows. So the head is right, the ears are between your arms. And now inhale, come forward, bring the knees down, and come back up into your kneeling pose. Take the left leg out. And again, I just kept my eyes focused just to help me with balance. Otherwise, Sometimes it's just like this to get it up in front, especially if you're not used to it. So fix the gaze and with intention, bring that foot up front. It's just fun to play with balance and learning how to use the nuances of our yoga program. And we bring that into our life. Bring the hands in prayer, bring the heart, elbows out. And this could be your pose. If you want to come forward a little bit, you can. Just don't arch your back here. Inhale, exhale. And if you want to go into the twist just a little, inhale, exhale, turn the belly. So it's just like 2 inches maybe. Inhale, exhale, turn the ribs. Now I'm on even more of a diagonal. Inhale, exhale. Now I'm going to turn my head and neck. And I'm looking over my left shoulder or just at the side. And if you want to get even more challenging, you can bring your right elbow on the outer aspect of the left thigh and then see if you can stack the left elbow to be on top of the right. And the head is looking straight ahead or slightly back towards the left elbow. I'm going to look straight ahead. And breathe. So on this side, now we're getting a twist in the transverse and a descending cobra. Inhale, exhale, turn the head and neck. Inhale, exhale, turn the chest. Inhale, exhale, come back. With the belly. Pause. Bring your hands to your left thigh. Curl your back toes, the right toes under. This is great really good for any arthritic problems in the feet, or to prevent it. Lift your back knee, and then bring the back foot up. Hands on the heart, and pause. I was going to say hands on the pause, and I like that. Hands on the pause. Okay, so just shake that out a little bit. Move any way that you need to release any tension. And now we're going to come into chair pose. So this is a really strong pose. It's a wonderful pose, and it builds a lot of energy in the legs. And it's a wonderful pose for edema, any kind of swelling in the ankles, as it just recruits and all of the fluid that might have leaked outside the cells into the tissue and brings it back into the circulatory system. So it's a great pose to build strength and bone density in the legs as well and in the hips. So the feet are hip distance apart. If you have a block, you can put a block between your feet and then one between your thighs. So I'm going to show that. I have both. Okay, you can see me? I'm off the mat, but that's okay. So I have that block there now. I like the feedback in this pose. I really like the feedback of feeling the block between my legs and my feet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my hands onto my waist. And now I'm going to inhale, and on the exhale, I'm just going to bend the knees. So it's like a zigzag. It's like a Z. And then just take a peek down at your knees and where they are in relation to your toes. And if your knees are beyond your toes, which mine are, I'm going to just come back a little bit. So that involves taking the butt back a little bit. So bring the butt back and see if you can bring it down just to the degree that feels good for you. Just be careful not to overarch your lower back, lumbar spine. Again, see if you can get it to a neutral spine curve right there in the lower back. And now take the arms out. I like this universal pose again. If you're really rounding in the back, this is not good because it contributes to more rounding, right? Causing tension. So this is nice. It frees up the neck, the soft tissue in the neck. And then you can even work on bringing your elbows up to your shoulder. But if that's not possible, no biggie. And breathe. So I'm checking where my feet are. I'm lifting my pelvic floor, pulling my belly button back to the side. And another way to do this is if you want to bring the hands, interlace your fingers, interlace them the opposite way, the way we talked about in the beginning, and just straighten your arms up. Come on the side. Now, there's a tendency to, when we do that, to do this, to stick the butt out and arch the back. So just restrain the ribs, pull them in, pull the chest in, and just keep the back neutral. This is a wonderful pose. Inhale, exhale, inhale deeply, exhale. One more time. Inhale, and on your next exhale, straighten the legs and let the arms go wherever they want to go. Let them just float wherever they want to go. That's a really nice feeling. You feel a rush of prana and chi and your whole life force energy. It's a great pose. And then, of course, you can do that. Maybe let's try it again. We'll do it again. Just pedal out your feet, and we'll do it again. Maybe this time a little bit more dynamically. So holding poses for long periods of time are really great for osteoporosis and building bone density. It really helps with that because if you hold poses, if you can work up to like a minute, you can start really making significant change in your bone density stance. But that's not always good for osteoarthritis, long holding poses. So it's good to kind of have a balance maybe, especially if you have both. Okay, I'm back into that position. The block is between my feet, and I've got a block between my thighs. And I'm doing my inventory for my mountain pose. My hands come on my waist first. I'm going to inhale, exhale, bend the knees. Now, I already know that I'm beyond my toes. So I'm just going to come back because that's my habit. And now I'm just lengthening out my lower back because that's also my habit, to arch it. Arms come into my goal pose. And now we're going to make it a little crazy. We're going to come up on the toes. Fix your gaze, that'll help you. So we're going to do that 10 times. Go according to your pace and what your body wants you to do. If this does not feel good, don't do it. And it might be easier to do this toe movement without the block in between my thighs and the block between my feet. I can bring the block up with me. So I think that's 6. You want to keep the knees tracking over the toes. There's a tendency to let the knees go medially and just keep going up and down. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Stay up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring the heels down, arms down. Woo! And pause. Put your hands on your heart and let that. Just notice any sensation in your body. Notice anything different. It's always nice to stop and pause. Okay, so let's do one more pose before we come to our relaxation pose today. So notice how I'm just coming down to the floor. I don't mean to keep saying this, but anybody over 50 or with back issues should not do this. Okay, see how I rounded? So I'm coming, I want to be up against my couch here, but if you don't have something right in front of you right now to lean against, don't worry about it. So I'm taking one leg back, I'm using my couch to help me come down, and now I came down with a flat back, okay? So again, it's just changing patterns and just being mindful, that's all. And I'm going to lower this down so you can see me and what I'm doing back here. So this is a variation of side plank. If you have scoliosis, you only want to do this on the side where you have the convexity. And if you don't have scoliosis, that doesn't really mean anything to you. But if you have scoliosis, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have scoliosis, you can do both sides, okay? So the convexity side is the opposite from the concave side where it's pushed in. You don't want to do that on the concave side because that means you just push it into that side. So this is actually used as a unilateral therapeutic tool for scoliosis. So for those of us who don't have that, we can do both sides. And if you do have it, just do, we'll do both sides. When we do the other side, we just do the same side. So the arm, in this case, I'm sitting on my left hip, and I'm going to take my left arm out on an angle. It's not too far out, but it's out enough that allows me to keep integrity in my spine, length of my spine. So you don't want it like this, because that's just a lot of pressure on your shoulders, girdle. So you just want it out like that. And I'm going to start out with my butt up against my couch here. And then from here, I'm going to inhale, and on the exhale, I'm going to engage my abdomen as I lift the hips up. And I'm leaning into that left arm, doing a lot of work here. So that's supporting me, my left hand, my left arm, and the outer aspect of my left thigh. You can bring your right arm up and look straight ahead. If you want to look up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, you can. But if you have neck issues, just look straight ahead. Or you can look down, but don't let the head down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand to the waist. Inhale, exhale with control. Don't just plop. Just bring the left hip down and pause. You can just come forward a little bit. You can sit on your knees and just pause. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to be facing this way. So I'm on my right hip, and you can't really see my right arm, but I promise you it's at an angle. Not too far, not too close. Okay, it's close enough to allow me to have this long line in my spine. Okay, my butt is making contact. I'm not pushing into it, but I'm there. This is here for your protection, okay, and just to give you feedback, especially if you've never done it before. Left hand on the left waist, look straight ahead, inhale, exhale, engage the core, and then lift the right hip off the floor. I'm looking ahead. You can take the left arm up. You can look up at the arm if you want. I find that a little too much for my neck. You can look to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or straight ahead, or down. The integrity of the neck. So this is great for bone strength in the arms. Really good. Wonderful strengthening tool for the entire side body. Latissimus muscles is wonderful. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take the top hand to the waist. Inhale. And exhale. Calm down with control. Whew. And then just come to kneel for a second. Close your eyes and just pause. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Okay, so you worked hard today. So this is a really wonderful relaxation pose. It's called Instant Maui. And you come to a chair, or I have this little ottoman here, and you're going to, and again, you want to be careful how you go into it. You don't want to do this in particular. You don't want to do that. That is so, and I probably should stop even demonstrating it. So I am taking my butt up against the ottoman, the chair, whatever, anything that you have. Table, a low table, of course. So I've got the butt up against it, and my body is perpendicular to it. Now, my right arm, I'm leaning, I'm stretching it out, and I'm taking my head to that right arm. Did I say that? Right arm. Okay. Now, from here, all I have to do is just flip over, and then bring my calves to the seat of wherever I'm going. Oh gosh, you can bring your arms just down by your side with the palms open. If you need, I should have said this before, but if you need a pillow, just grab a pillow and just commit to it again. Don't come out of it. You know, if you need a pillow or a blanket, don't come out of it just for time's sake. Do it properly. It's always worth doing a few extra steps that way. So we'll stay here for at least 3 minutes. And again, this is another wonderful pose for tired legs. You've been standing all day. You have achiness, all of that fluid goes back. That extra sunlight fluid goes back into the circulatory. It's nice to be on the back. The back is melting up into the back. And feel yourself spreading it. Picking up some nice real estate. So enjoy this. One other thing when I come to that. If your chin is elevated, then put a pillow under your head. Because you don't want to overspend it. Okay, so just be careful of that. Or if it's too far down, then just put a roll under your neck. But just make sure that your chin is just ever so slightly up. Nothing high, nothing low. Okay, see you later. Very slowly. And inhale very deeply. Fill the lungs. Fill the back of the lungs. Visualize the back of the lungs. Really thinking about it. Right? Visualize the back. Filling up. Expand the ribs. Exhale. Expand your thoracic. And then come to wiggle your fingers and toes. Making any kind of movements that your body needs. Stretching the arms up and out. And then bend the knees into the chest. A nice thing to do is to take the feet to the edge of whatever you have your legs on, and this is really great for the lower back, just to stretch it out there. And then you can make some movements on one way, the other, circles, whatever feels right for you. And then come to lie on whatever side feels right. Just come to lie on that side and just melt into the floor. Use the top hand to press into the floor. Bottom arm will kick in. And then come back to sit for a second. We'll do a breathing exercise and then we'll move into a quick meditation. I just want to point out one thing in that side plank that I don't think I mentioned. So I'm just going to demonstrate it. I think it might be better this way. So when you're here and your knees are stacked on top of each other and the elbows are out on a diagonal, when you inhale, exhale, and then you lift the hips, to be back a little bit more, lift the hips. The ribs that are closest to the floor, make sure that you don't slump in that shoulder that's doing the lifting. So you could really do it like this and think you're doing it, but you're putting an awful lot of pressure on that shoulder. So you want to lift with integrity and disperse the energy throughout the supporting arm, and then turn those ribs just slightly forward a little bit so that you're not going this way, you're just going out this way to the side a little bit. But again, don't hang in the pose. Distribute the forces throughout the entire arm and the entire side of the spine. Okay, so let's come to sit comfortably. We'll do an alternate breathing exercise. This is a really lovely exercise to do for anxiety. So if you've done this before, you've probably done it where the fingers come to the forehead, and then you've got the nose, the right side of the nose with your thumb, and then another finger on the left. And so in the interest of not touching and really trying to refrain from touching the nose and the face, we're going to do it without all those machinations. And you can breathe in your right nostril and breathe out your left nostril, and then without closing one nostril off, you really can do it. You can direct your mind to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale to a count of 5 through the right nostril. And then you're going to exhale for a count of 5 through the left nostril. We'll do that 3 times, right to left. Then we're going to switch and we're going to inhale, count of 5 through the left nostril, and then opposite exhale, count of 5, right nostril. We'll do that 3 times, and then we're gonna do both. Inhale for count of 5, exhale for 3 times. Okay, so you can close your eyes. You can fix your eyes someplace on the floor, on a nuance, have a soft gaze, whatever feels right for you. And I'll give the cue. So just breathe normally, and then we'll start. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4. Switch. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale both. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale both. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale both. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale both. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale both. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale both. 2, 3, 4, 5. And just come back to your normal breathing pattern. And the cadence of that song is going to be with you for the rest of your life, at least for the rest of today. I got that from one of my yoga teachers, Cindy Lee, and I have never forgotten it. I like it. Okay, so bring your hands to your heart. Visualize your heart as the master organ. And people say it is. So it all depends on what department you work on. So the heart, the brain, wherever, right? So the heart. Let's lead with the heart today. Let's think about the heart as being the one in charge. We're doing enough thinking, we're doing enough worrying. So it's nice to drop into the heart and just think of the word gratitude. You don't even have to list all the things you're grateful for, just the word. And notice how your heart swells. And how it takes up space in your chest cavity just from sending away. And you can feel vibrations just from dropping into your heart. And so that word in particular, making a vibrational change in your cellular energy, lining of the cells, the nucleus, the membranes, everything down to a very, very nuclear level. And then emanating it out larger and larger. Feel that vibration spreading out to the side, top, bottom, and everywhere in between. And just stay back to the next beat. Think about 3 things that you're grateful for today. And let's bring our hands in prayer, down our heads. May we have a peaceful mind, an easeful body, and a useful life. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your yoga practice with me today. See you next time.